This video just tries to help with adding an inventory or something that you can use to carry things around in your game. So traditionally in these games, this is called an inventory. So it's what you're carrying. So there are three things that we need to do that I think is the best way to do this, of setting up an inventory. And the first thing we need to do is actually create a list. So we've created here a global list that I've called inventory. You see inventory equals, and then it's the empty square bracket. So there has to be these square brackets here. And I've put a code comment in there just saying this defines a global list to hold the items you're carrying. So what I mean by global is that that's going to be available throughout the whole program. So not just in one of your definitions, but in all of your definitions. So you'll notice that I've put that just above where game start happens. So game start's the first bit of our code that runs the program, but I've created the inventory, which is going to be my list of things I'm carrying, just before that. And notice that it's right in on the left hand side. It's not indented. So then in order to handle the inventory and to make it quick and easy, I've created two new definitions. One of those is called print inventory. So there's no particular prize for guessing what this does. It prints the inventory. So this first bit, however, is saying that if there is nothing in the inventory, so if not inventory, so if inventory is empty, in other words, then we print you've got nothing, you have nothing, or you could say you're carrying nothing. Otherwise, if it's not empty, there must be something in your inventory. We're going to print you are carrying, and then I'm using the inventory as an object. So it's print inventory, so it's going to print the whole list there. So it's going to add on basically that list to what we're carrying. Here, say you are carrying and whatever we're carrying. So that's printing the inventory. Obviously, we need to be able to add something to our inventory. And we could do that just with a line of code in every single time we want to do that. Be almost the same as this, but I've used a definition and I've sent it a parameter. The parameter in this case is the item I want to add. So when you write a definition with a parameter, you're sending something to that definition that you can then use inside it. Notice that in here I've used the keyword global. So I've just said global inventory, and that just means that I can change the global variable inventory. And I want to change it here because I want to add something to it. And so I can then just say inventory.append. Append means add on the end of. So we're adding something on the end of the list. And what I'm adding is whatever item I send to it. So I've written two fairly simple definitions just there, and I've created the actual inventory itself. If you write the definitions before you create the inventory itself, it will show you some errors, but once you create the inventory, they will disappear. But I recommend you make the inventory by saying inventory equals square bracket open, square bracket close, like this first, because that will then make everything else work better. So we've got a way of printing the inventory and a way of adding things to it. However, we need to amend our code where we've got something to pick up to allow us to put that into the inventory. So I've got a bit of code here that's in my Deep Forest South. So in Deep Forest South, on the ground, there's a long spear-like stick. So what I want to do, well, if my choice is get spear, then I'm going to say you pick up the spear. It is sharp and pointed. The handle's smooth. It's been well used by many hands. So this is just describing my spear. And then I need to add a piece of code that says add to inventory spear, because spear is what I'm putting into my inventory. That's what I've just picked up. And then I'm actually just calling Deep Forest South. Again, I'm going back to here because I've done the pickup bit now, and they possibly want to go north or do something else with this location. I haven't quite finished with this location yet because I haven't put anything in for my west yet, for going west. I've done north, I've done get the spear, I've got my else in there to handle any other input, but I'm going to need to add another elif in here to handle west as well. So the other thing I might need to add to my locations is an option to find out what the inventory is. So what am I carrying? So if the input was inventory or I or something like that, normally in these games, it's if you put I in, it shows you what you're carrying. Then I'd need to add something in for that. So elif choice equals I, going to be for my inventory, and we've already written print inventory, I think, haven't we? So print inventory, and print inventory will just print that out. So that will take us down to here. It'll print it out. So after that, I want to just show them Deep Forest South again. Deep Forest South. So once I've printed the inventory, that will work.